Now, into the ticket office of Disneyland.
Oh boy, let's do this. Don't think the CIA is going to be trying to hack your second-gen iPod.
I didn't think so. There might have been a lot of illegal music on there. I wouldn't doubt it. But, I mean...
You were supposed to bring death to the flagships, not join them.
Google has found a new way to piss me off.
iTunes is a constant source of embarrassment.
Behind-the-scenes camera crap.
Here, tell us about courage, Phil. Tell us about courage.
I am Nadella.
I can't do it anymore without laughing. I was going to do the whole thing.
Welcome, everyone, to the Calling All Platforms podcast. I am your host, and I'm here with Landon.
Hello.
And Caleb.
Hi.
And my name is Wes. I totally forget to say my name, actually, at the beginning of that. So, my name is Wes.
No, you're just the host.
I am the host.
Hello, the host.
I realized that as soon as I said that. I was like, I didn't say my name. Anyway, I'm not going to say I'm a good host, but hey, we're here. We're going to talk all things tech this week. Man, we got quite a bit of news to get into, so we're going to go directly into this. We're going to have Landon start us off, because I hear there might be some Google news, some things we want to talk about. So, Landon, go ahead and take it away.
Oh boy, is there stuff to talk about. I'm just going to title this block of news as Google Giveth and Google Taketh away, because that's really the pattern that's going on here.
Yeah.
So the first thing with the Google Giveth portion of this part is inside of YouTube TV, they've finally added multi-view, like, so you can have multiple things going at the same time and have like up to 4 different channels going. Now, it's only like you can't pick what you're watching yet. And currently it's only working with basketball games. So like right now is the college basketball tournament that we're not supposed to technically say the name of, which is stupid. It's March Madness.
Wait, why are we not supposed to say the name of that?
I think there's some sort of legal thing. NCAA is really stupid. Anyways.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's dumb.
That's weird. Okay.
Anyways.
I think that's the first time we've ever had to not say something. That's weird.
Yeah. But
anyway,
so that big tournament is going on right now, and because of that, they added this feature. So when you go into YouTube TV, you can basically on the home screen of YouTube TV, it'll show if there's a game going on or if there's multiple games going on. It'll show the games that are there, and then it also gives, like, if you click on one or if you click on the channel that shows all 3 or 4, it'll say watch in multi-view, and then it'll have either however many games are going, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes all 4. And then it'll show all 4 on your screen at the same time. And granted, this does only work on televisions right now. It does not work on mobile, at least as far as I'm aware. I haven't seen it. That would be strange, though, if you're watching 4 different channels on a small screen already. It makes more sense on TV. But so it'll have up to 4 channels going at a time. And whichever one is highlighted, that's the one you can hear the sound from. And you can easily switch between all 4. And then if you click on the one that you have highlighted, it'll just pull that one up as the main one that you want. Like, just your whole TV will be that channel. Then you can easily just click back, and it'll go back to the 4 or however many were there before, and you can switch really easily. It actually works really well. I've been very pleased with it. I really want them to just make this work with whatever channels you want to choose from and just work with any... not just basketball, but any channels, because and I think that'll happen, and they're just testing it out right now with the basketball stuff that's going on, because it makes sense. Yeah. People want to watch more than one game at a time sometimes, and it is kind of nice because you can be watching one game, and then something exciting happens in the other game, so you switch over there really quick and, go back and forth. I've done it a couple times. It's kind of nice. But yeah, I want it to be available for more than just that, and any channel that I want, because that would be very convenient.
Nice fast way to catch up on all the binge watch TV shows that you need to follow.
Sure,
it's like you can binge watch The Last of Us and the 3rd season of The Mandalorian at the same time.
Well, technically, those aren't confusing on YouTube TV.
I mean, yeah, you can't actually do that with either of those shows, but Holy crap!
How
Are
would you go to the water cooler with that? Like
all of the binge watch TV shows that like everybody wants to follow now are on streaming services.
It's true.
They're not actually on TV. What the heck? I just realized that.
It's true.
Huh.
All right, now the part where Google taketh away. Speaking of YouTube TV, they have once again raised the price from, it was $65 a month, and it has been for the past couple years. Now it is up to $73 a month.
Huh. Sounds like paying for a cable subscription.
It really does. Okay, so I did look into this because I have YouTube TV. I've had it since it was $35 a month. It is now more than double that. Lovely.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see, okay, what do these cable packages, where do they start at, and what do I get for these prices? Most of them start around $75, so not much more than what you're paying for YouTube TV, but you do get more channels with YouTube. Well, okay, not necessarily more channels, but different and I think better channels with YouTube TV for your average person. It all depends on what you want to watch, obviously. Like for me, it makes more sense to have YouTube TV because I get way more sports channels on YouTube TV than I do on basic plans from DirecTV or Dish Network or Comcast, So that makes more sense. You also get more of like some of the family channels, like a lot of the ABC stuff. You get almost all of their stuff with YouTube TV. So like all the Disney Channel stuff, the Freeform, all that stuff is included with YouTube TV. I don't know. To me, it's still a better deal. It's just not that much of a better deal anymore as it used to be.
Yeah.
Now they're blaming this on these these TV providers charging more for their channels, which, okay, maybe that's the case. Maybe it's, I don't know. That's what they've always said when it comes to them raising the prices. Sometimes it has come with more channels. Like, oh, we're raising the price, but we're now adding 20 more channels. This time, they didn't do that. They added multi-view, which, okay, that's not worth $8 a month. But they did. This is coming back to the Google Giveth portion. Their 4K Plus plan, which allows you to obviously stream in 4K and have unlimited device streams at your home location. That was $20 a month as an additional $20 add-on a month. Now they've dropped that down to only $10 a month. So I did the math. If you were paying the regular price and had the 4K Plus plan, you are actually now saving $2.
So basically, what we can take away from that is that not that many people were paying for that. Otherwise, Google would not have made these changes because they want it to be a net profit. So if most people were paying for that, then they're not. They would not have lowered that price.
Yeah, I mean, I have not done the 4K Plus plan because $20 a month was definitely not worth it for me. And $10 a month is still not worth it to me because I don't need to be streaming at 4K. The quality is already really good. And I don't have enough devices going at the same time to where I need unlimited streams at home, especially at home. Now, if I just got unlimited streams, that might be a little different, but it's just unlimited at home. So,
yeah,
whatever. All right. Now, another part of the Google Giveth portion, before I get to the unfortunate parts of Google, the more unfortunate parts of Google, which is sad. Anyways, this past week, Google has sent out special invites to people, inviting people to use Google's Bard AI platform.
Oh, I
now,
did see that. Yeah.
I did get an email about this. I signed up, but I have not yet got the actual link to fully sign up to use it yet. I've just got the invitation, and I'm now on the wait list. I didn't get into it quite early enough to get it right away. So I haven't used it yet, but from what I understand, it is what you would expect a chat AI to be. It's very similar to ChatGPT. Not quite. I don't think it's quite as good as what ChatGPT 4 is, because that update made ChatGPT quite a bit better when it comes to a lot of these things. Google's is, let's say it's toned down for sure. They've kind of put some restrictions on certain things that you can ask it, or rather that it will answer, because they don't want it to turn into what Bing's did within a couple days, where it starts, wanting you to divorce your wife and marry it or something like that. So it's a little held back for obvious reasons. And it's, again, only for certain people. Not a lot of people have access to it yet. But it is now out in the open, and people are using it, which means it will get better. That's how these usually work. The more people use it, the more it learns, the more it'll, in theory, get better. But we have yet to see. It has not been out for super long. So once I get access to it, I will try to play around with it a little bit, because I think these things can be fun. They can be useful in a lot of ways if you're using it properly and not trying to kill it like some people have. And if you're using it as a tool, I think it could be very beneficial. So I want to play around with it. So when I do, I will update the podcast about that. Yeah. All right. Now we get to play one of our favorite things here in terms of Google doing things.
Oh.
All right. It is that time again. Google has officially announced that the end of Google Glass is here.
Oh.
Now, listener, you may have thought that it was already dead, because as a consumer, it was. But they did have Google Glass Enterprise Edition for the last few years. But that is now also officially dead. And that's just unfortunate. Kind of.
Yeah.
I like the salute, Wes.
Salute.
Very nice.
You're welcome. Sorry.
But they did say that support for Google Glass is officially ending. I think it has already ended. It was sometime this month of March 2023. And they are not going to be, I think they're going to be doing some sort of like security updates through September is what I heard. But after that, completely dead. No more support. Just gone. So that's unfortunate. Now, Google is not completely out of the AR VR space. As you may recall, at last year's Google I/O, I think it was last year's Google I/O, maybe it was 2 years ago, I can't remember. They did show off some new glasses that actually, looked like glasses that were using AR and different AI things in there to, like, they were using it as a translator type thing, basically. And it worked really well. And so obviously they're still working on something. Just Google Glass as a project is now officially dead. So whatever this next iteration is going to be, it's not going to be Glass. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think Google was a little ahead of the curve when it came to what we needed to have, especially the fact that it had a camera on it. That's what people didn't like the most about it, is that there was a camera. There was no indicator light to tell you if that camera was turned on. So people could, in theory, just be recording everything all the time, and you wouldn't know. That's what people's biggest holdup with Google Glass was. Also, it looked kind of weird, which, granted, it was 2011 when that came out. So the technology kind of had to be what it was, which is fine. But yeah, Google Glass officially killed off. So there you go.
Yeah.
Now, on to the next thing. Another one bites the dust.
Oh.
Seriously?
Yes. Now, technically, this has not been officially killed yet. But Project Jacquard. Listener, you may not even have heard of what Project Jacquard was. Years ago, I think it was 2015, when Google announced Project Soli, which was their radar-type system that they had on the Pixel 4. They also announced Project Jacquard. And what it was basically combining touch sensors inside of fabric. And there were products you could buy. Like, they partnered with Levi, and they made a jean jacket that you could, like, swipe on the sleeve and do certain things. Like,
right. I do remember this.
It was very strange, to say the least. Now, again, it is technically not officially dead, but in the latest iteration of the Jacquard app on Android, inside the What's New section, it says, this release adds the ability to inform users of updates to product support in the future. And there's also some people in the code have found basically end-of-life references and different things like that. So it's on its way out, and that's fine because, again, nobody has used this in a product since 2019, I think was the last time. I think it was Adidas wanted to put some sort of chip inside of a soccer cleat to do some certain tracking, but I don't know why they would need Project Jacquard for that, because they've also proven since then, if you watch this past World Cup, they had chips inside of every soccer ball to give you more data, and it was far superior to what Project Jacquard could do. And obviously, people don't necessarily want touch-sensitive stuff on their clothes because you look like an idiot when you're swiping on your sleeve or things like that.
Oh, man.
Project Jacquard is going to be dying shortly, is my guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 6 people on the planet that are still using their Levi Strauss jean jackets to, like, swipe through their texts and stuff. Like, I don't think this is going to affect many people.
No, I really don't either. Because, as I said, listener, you probably either forgot about it or never heard about it. Because after that I/O keynote, Google barely talked about it.
Yep.
So, that's fun.
Sometimes I feel like Google operates a little bit like Valve, except they tell us everything they're doing. Like, famously at Valve, they have like basically no structure, like hierarchical structure to the company. You have like Gabe Newell and then just a line underneath him for the rest of the employees. And they form up into teams kind of ad hoc, and they work on stuff that interests them as a group. And, you know, if they finish it, if it's something really cool, if more people want to get involved in it, then they'll chase it to completion, and you end up with Half-Life Alyx. But 99% of all the stuff that they do at Valve, we just never hear about because it never makes it far enough to actually be told, like, announced to the public. And I feel like sometimes Google just does kind of the same thing, where they just have groups that kind of self-organize to do something that interests them, except that Google gets up at I/O and tells us about everything.
Yeah.
And then like half of them are just like, this is never going to get supported. Why are we telling people about it and releasing it to the public? So weird.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm sure every major technology company has these projects. Apple, I guarantee, has these projects. Samsung has these projects. Amazon has these projects. They just don't talk about them to the public, especially Apple.
And that's why none of the rest of them have a graveyard as large as Google's.
Yeah. There's a reason why there's I can't remember what it's called, but it's Google Graveyard, I think is what the website is called. But yeah. There's a website dedicated to stuff that Google has shut down, and it's not a small list. Not at all.
That is not a small number. That is a big number.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, those are the latest things that are going to be added to the Google Graveyard. Google Glass and Project Jacquard. 2 things that one was ahead of its time. One was just shouldn't have happened or shouldn't have been made public. Let's say that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, back to the Google Giveth portion of this episode. This is the last little bit of Google news. Google's Project Zero security team. This is basically a team of people that work at Google that go and try to find bugs with different software. They've found different bugs inside of Windows. They found different bugs inside of Android. You know, they go to all sorts of different software and whatnot, try to find these bugs, similar to any hacker out there that's, you know, trying to find bugs. And usually, and they're the good guys. They try to tell people, white hat hackers. They try to, you know, tell the companies before they release these things. Now, unfortunately, so this Google's Project Zero has found 18 security flaws inside of certain Exynos chips, modem chips. Now, this does affect a decent amount of phones, unfortunately. I'm just going to read the list of phones because in case you might have one of these phones, you need to know about this. So, especially Samsung phones, if you have these certain Exynos chips. So the phones are the Galaxy S22, the M33, M13, M12, A71, A53, A33, A21S, A13, A12, and A4 series. And this is the series of these phones. So like the S22, all of those phones. If you have an Exynos chip, it's going to have this problem. There's some Vivo phones, the S16, S15, S6, X70, X60, and X30 series. And then the Pixel 6 and Pixel 7 series of phones as well. Now, if you have either the Pixel 6 or Pixel 7, as I've read, initially I thought it was the February security patch, but the March security update will have fixed this issue. Now, if you either don't have that update yet, or you have one of these other phones that hasn't patched this update, what you need to do is turn off Wi-Fi calling on your device. That is the most at-risk thing inside of these chips. People can basically access your phone somehow if that's turned on with only your phone number. They don't even need the device. And that's a major issue. So,
holy crap.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you have one of these phones, you need to go turn off Wi-Fi calling and then bug whoever makes your phone for an update to this. And like I said, Google, this security team, they find these things and then they send this information to the makers of these phones. So they told Samsung and Vivo about this over 90 days ago. They're like, hey, we're giving you 90 days so you have time to make a fix for this. And after that, it's going to be public knowledge. And that's what they did. They worked on a thing to fix their phones. They let everyone know. And Samsung has done nothing as far as we know. None of these phones have gotten updates to fix this yet. I haven't heard anything about Vivo, but I know that Samsung has not updated their phones to fix this yet.
I'd be willing to bet that Samsung has done something. I'll bet that their past 90 days has consisted of a lot of software engineers running around like chickens with their head cut off and stuff like that. But I mean, you heard that list of Samsung phones that are affected.
Yeah.
You know, like Google has 2 families of phones that are running off of like, you know, the same basic architecture, same processor kind of thing. Like, I get that, that there's a difference between the Pixel 6a and the regular Pixel 6, but if you make a software change that affects one of those, then it probably works across the entire family. So they had to update the 6 and the 7. Samsung has to update like 30 phones, like 30 families of phones, and then test all of those to make sure that the fix actually works on each of them. Frickin', yeah, that's good luck, Samsung. Like, that's the thing, is that even if they were to be like, holy crap, like, red alert, all hands on deck, let's fix this thing, which they probably did not do. Even if they were to do that, it would probably still take them like another 6 months to fix all this. Like,
I mean, that is fair that it is going to take a while, and I'm sure, they are probably doing something. They just haven't publicly said anything.
Yeah, they haven't acknowledged it.
Like, this has been public knowledge for about a week now, and Samsung hasn't come out and said that, oh, yeah, we're working on a fix. So,
yeah, which is, it's obnoxious, because that is corporate 101.
Yeah.
Never admit that you've done anything wrong, which is so stupid from like a crisis communication perspective. That is absolutely the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, if there's something like this happens, you have to speak up. You don't have to like acknowledge that you did something wrong. You just have to acknowledge the problem exists and reassure your customers that you are doing something about it. And if it's a case where like literally it's going to take us 6 months to finish it because we have to address like 60 different devices, then you need to say, like, the fix is coming. It's going to take us a while because it is a very widespread thing. But in the meantime, here's what you do to keep yourself safe. Send them all emails, have notifications pop up on their phones, like, blast the information out there so that everybody feels reassured that they can be safe despite all of these security problems. And that protects your customers. It protects your brand image. It is just the best thing for everyone. But corporate lawyers they see this as like, oh, holy crap, class action lawsuit. Like, nope, don't say anything, don't do anything, don't breathe, don't do anything except pray, maybe.
Yeah.
No, it's just, yeah, like, I hate it, but this is what large corporations do all the time, and it is so obnoxious.
It is really unfortunate. But like I said, if you have any of these phones, you haven't gotten this update yet. So if you have a Pixel phone, a Pixel 6 or 7, go check for that update, because it has been sent out to both of these phones. So you should get it relatively soon if you haven't already. And then if you have any of these other phones, go and turn Wi-Fi calling off, and also voice over LTE calling, turn that off as well. So that should help with the biggest issue, at least with when it comes to these security patches that Google has found. All right. That's all of the Google related news. Well, I guess this one's kind of Google related, but it is more general tech news. So Wes should be happy with this news. So there is a relatively popular podcast app out there for listeners. It's one I use. I believe Wes uses it. It's called PocketCasts. I've been using it for pretty much the whole time I've ever been listening to podcasts. It's been PocketCasts. It's a great app.
Mm-hmm.
But they are finally developing a WearOS app.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, they've had WatchOS for Apple Watch for a long time. I don't know why they did not develop a WearOS app, but they have finally said, "Oh yeah, we're working on that. It's going to come out sometime this year." So there you go. That's all the news I have currently on it, is that they are working on it, but it is coming. So all you people, if you use Pocket Cast as your podcast app of choice, and you have a WearOS device, you will have a better listening experience. Well, potentially a better listening experience through your watch if you do things like that. All right. Now on to my last bit of tech news. T-Mobile is buying Mint Mobile, which
I did hear about this.
is interesting. I mean, Mint Mobile has used T-Mobile's towers their whole existence, so it's not really going to change that much. And from everything I've read, Mint Mobile, so T-Mobile is what they're buying is the parent company of Mint Mobile and Ultra Mobile, which I'm not going to try and pronounce this company's name because it's got stuff. Yeah. But the parent company of those is being bought by T-Mobile, which therefore Mint Mobile and Ultra Mobile will be under the T-Mobile umbrella. Now, they have said that both of these companies will still run as if they are independent companies for the foreseeable future. That may change sometime, but as of now, that's what T-Mobile CEO has said. That's what Ryan Reynolds has told me, and he always tells the truth.
Sure.
I mean, you can
I
trust
don't know.
Deadpool.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds also said that T-Mobile only narrowly beat out the next closest bid, which was his mother's. So I'm not.
Also,
It
listener,
was a weird announcement.
what you need to look up is the announcement video on YouTube. So basically, just look up T-Mobile announces the Uncarrier's acquisition of Mint Mobile. And it's got T-Mobile CEO, which is not their previous one of... What's the guy's name? I don't know.
What was that guy's name?
I remember his last name was Lejeune. I can't remember his first name, but he was freaking nuts. But it's not that guy anymore. And it's got the T-Mobile CEO and Ryan Reynolds talking. It's quite entertaining. Gives all the information that you really need. But they're going to be keeping everything the same at Mint Mobile, so $15 a month plans are still going to be around. They're still going to be using T-Mobile's towers, obviously. I think overall, this isn't bad news. I would prefer more of these companies still be their own thing, just for more competition. Because there's all these, like AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, they're all buying all these smaller companies and just, making it look like there's competition when there's really not.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's just kind of unfortunate. But as of right now, like I said, it is still going to be functioning as its own thing, right, for the foreseeable future. So I just wanted to mention that T-Mobile now will be buying Mint Mobile. That is all of my tech news for this week.
Awesome. That's a lot. And
you're telling me.
More importantly, please go turn, if you have a Samsung phone, please go turn that Wi-Fi calling and LTE calling off, please.
Yes.
Until further notice, I guess. Anywho, all right. Well, I have a couple things I did want to mention that's actually more Microsoft related, not so much on their gaming side. So obviously Microsoft has been pushing this AI, the ChatGPT, through everything they own and everything whatnot, and so they've released that they are releasing the Microsoft 365 Copilot is bringing the AI to their Office, Teams, and new business chat app. So we talked about bringing it more and more to everything. They're just pushing it through. So yeah, this stuff will be coming up. You're going to definitely see it. I don't think you'll not be aware, because all this AI stuff they have pushed onto anything they own, it will let you know it's there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It will let you know. Even if you don't want it will let you know.
Yep.
Also,
in Office, it actually takes the form of like, it's kind of like a little paperclip thing that just animates into the screen in the lower corner and asks if you want help. It's really unobtrusive, I feel like.
Why can't they just call it Clippy?
I wish that were true.
Yeah.
They had a lot of practice with this whole informing you about things with Cortana, because that wouldn't shut up either.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
if only it had actually been an AI back then.
Cortana may have been useful.
And just, it still upsets me. They had the perfect for everything.
They really
for an
did.
AI.
They really did.
It was just perfect.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's not get on that tangent. But so if you're going to be seeing this when you're working with all their stuff, they're going to have these AI things. One thing I did want to mention is if you do use Edge, people that do use Edge have noticed that there's a big bubble of Bing right in the freaking corner. And even if you mouse kind of close to it, it brings up the options and says, hey, were you wanting to do a chat thing? Hey, I mean, you weren't even... it just right there, boom, and it brings it up for you. You now have the option with the new update. I believe it says the Edge new update. You can remove that button, which will be great. That's like, so, man, it was pretty bad. Because okay, for me, I left it on, but like, just because I'm testing little things here and there and whatnot. But to me, not even going close to the button, going right next to it, the next thing that's next to it is the extension. So if you're going close to click the extensions and that bubble comes up before you hit the extensions and you click something, you're like, wait, no. Bad Microsoft on that one. Like, I get you want people to use it. Come on.
Don't have to trick us into using it. Come on, it's not fair.
Yep. So you have the option to remove that button. Okay, another thing I have heard a lot of people have been wanting this for, and I kind of looked it up. This is more for projects and things. People that have been wanting this for a long time. It's called Microsoft Loop app. Microsoft Loop. It's in public preview today, and when they say today, that's March 22nd. I've heard a lot of people like this. So what this Loop app is, if you don't know, and I didn't know, so I was like, well, I guess I better see what it is. So what it does, it obviously has all the Copilot AI powered suggestions to create and all this stuff. But what they were trying to do is get all the platforms that they have, so Microsoft, all the Office apps, things that, and you can put it all into one, and it loops it all into one. So if you're all working on a project, brings it all together. Now, like I said, I don't use a lot of Microsoft apps for something like this, so I haven't seen that use of it. A lot of people, they said the alternative thing app that people have been using, I guess it's called Notion. So if you know Notion, I guess this is a lot like this. That's kind of what they were saying. So that's what it is. So they say it's about the people trying to just have workflow, better connectivity, better workflows with that.
Yeah, this is one of them businessy enterprise things Microsoft does that I'm just like, Microsoft, what are you doing?
That's all they do.
Making all the money. That's okay. I forget.
I will say, I think this is a dumb name because when I heard loops, I thought, okay, maybe are they making like a video app where it's like Boomerang, or or you're making a GIF, or what are you doing?
And I heard cereal. I was like, they're making a cereal.
Loops. Microsoft Loops. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, although if they were to make a cereal, I wouldn't want it to be, circular loop type cereal. I'd want it to be like small Xboxes or the Windows logo or Clippy or,
It's honestly just checks pieces, except like with just like two big lines through the middle of it instead.
No, they just need colorful checks pieces that come in all the different Microsoft logos. Then you can make your own little logo right there.
Hey, see? Aww. There you go.
That would be nice. Great. They need to partner with checks. Microsoft, we just gave you some great, marketing material right there.
Yes.
Or even the alphabet soup, but they're not alphabet. It's little Windows logos and stuff. Like SpaghettiOs or something.
This is the next big thing in advertising for tech. Calling it right now.
Food. Oh, that's hilarious. But that's pretty much all kind of on the Microsoft side. I do have some bigger Microsoft side / gaming news, which we'll get to a little later. It all kind of fits in there. So we're going to go ahead and move over to Caleb. Caleb, you have anything for us before we get into gaming?
I do. I have one piece of, this is one small piece of news, but basically, listener, just a reminder to you, malware and viruses can be put on your computer via USB drives. Like if you plug a USB drive into your computer, they can be configured to auto-execute whatever is on that USB drive and install programs, take control of your computer, send stuff over the internet to people, bad actors in different countries even, and stuff like that. So if you find a random USB drive, like on the street, or if it's mailed to you and you don't know exactly what's on it, you don't know exactly who sent it, don't put it in your computer. Or if you do, put it into an old crappy computer that is not connected to a network, doesn't have any like important information on it, and that you're okay just literally throwing in a trash can and burning when you're done with it. Okay? So there was a development this past week with some journalists in, I think it was Venezuela, where they're actually now the whole throwing the computer into a trash can and burning it, the USB drive will now take care of that for you. Because these USB drives that they were mailed, they plugged into their computers, did not install malware, did not install viruses, they exploded.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
They were using the power from the USB port to trigger an explosive charge in the thumb drive. Fortunately, only one of the journalists that these were mailed to actually had the brain fart and went and plugged it into their computer. And apparently only one of the 2 charges inside of the stick went off. So he suffered what was categorized as minor to moderate injuries to his hand and his face. But like no permanent damage or anything like that. But yeah, so just another great reason, listener. Don't plug random USB drives into your stuff. Like, don't even plug them into a USB wall wart, because apparently sometimes they just blow up.
Oh my gosh. That's insane.
Wow.
Yeah. So
my goodness.
That's my tech/security news this week.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad we're able to tell people this, because that is not what I expected you to say.
It's the important news. It's important security news.
Jeez. Well, take us into gaming.
Okay, I can do that. So this past week, listener, I had the opportunity to play a brand new mobile game and the open beta for a game that is upcoming. And you may have heard us talk about, like, literally on the last podcast. Was it the last one or was it the one before that? It's not been that long. Mighty Doom, which is a mobile game from Bethesda that we were, how shall I say, skeptical? I was skeptical about, because, let's be honest, it's a mobile game from Bethesda.
Both of us were skeptical because it is a mobile game. It's just what we are.
It just seemed like it was going to be problematic. And I will say that now the game is out, listener. It's available on mobile phones everywhere. Go ahead and play it. Free to download, obviously. So it's got in-app purchases and stuff like that out the wazoo in order to try and make money. I downloaded it. I played it. It's, it's kind of an endless runner type. It's a mix between like a roguelite bullet hell shooter and an endless runner. So, but they did a pretty good job of mixing the two genres. The one finger controls for it are pretty smooth, feels pretty natural, and it's fun. Like it's reasonably enjoyable gameplay, and like the upgrade paths and stuff like that. Yeah, it's decent. The game is pretty good. I will say it gives you an energy bar, and when you're first booting into the game, it auto starts you with like, I think 40 energy. It's worth noting that is just for the tutorial, basically. They give you 40 energy right at the beginning, and your maximum energy, once you have gone through that, is 20. Yep. And every time you start a new run through this roguelite game, it takes 5 energy to do that. So that's not 20 runs. That's 4. Wait, 5. And no, 4. Yeah, I can do math in my head. So yes, it's kind of draconian on how much energy it takes. Now, if you're good at it, like if you're a reasonably good roguelite player, then odds are pretty good that, that's like honestly 30 to 40 minutes of gameplay right there, just having 4 runs. And it, slowly recharges your energy throughout the day. So as long as you don't want to play the game constantly, yeah, that it's reasonable. You can get like 10, 15 minutes, like on the bus, whatever, between classes at school, that kind of thing, pretty easily. And then it just recharges for each day, and you'd be okay without spending a whole bunch of money in order to get recharged energy and whatnot. But if you're not good at roguelites, if you're not good at this game, then those four charges, are going to get you maybe 5 minutes of gameplay. And then you're going to have to pay in order to, microtransactions in order to get back into the game. So it's a little draconian in terms of the energy. And I don't know that the gameplay is really, it's not good enough to get like really into it, like to get into the meat of it. and like focus in and zone out, just sink into the game for hours on end. So maybe it's okay that it's kind of draconian with the energy, because maybe it's just kind of a surface level experience anyways. I'm kind of not in the target market for it, honestly. It's a roguelite. I suck at those. They frustrate me. That's fine. It's just kind of not my thing. So that's what the game is. That was my first impression of it. Honestly, I'm not gonna have much more to say, because honestly, at this point, I'm probably just gonna delete it and and not play it anymore, just because it's as a genre piece, it's just kind of outside of my wheelhouse. So
yeah, I also downloaded it, tried it out, and that, Caleb, he explained what it is, and I went through, I maybe played a handful of times, maybe 5 times.
Yeah.
5 runs. And I think after I've completed a run, I was done. When I think there's 8 levels, 8. You have to go through 8.
You go through 9, and then there's a boss.
Yeah.
I think.
And then that's completed a run. And so when I finally got to that, which it didn't take me long, I just haven't had a reason to go back. But now, like I said, it was pretty quick. It was a one. I sat down, did it, and then I just haven't had a reason to go back, actually. So what was funny is I actually forgot about it existed until he said something. So, and I'm not, and that's not that's like Caleb said, it's not a dig. I wanted to try it. I tried it. Yeah. And I just don't have a desire to go back, but
yeah,
it felt good. It looks like it's a lot of fun, for people that like that. So,
and I mean, they had a ton of downloads right up front. People were definitely into it. Yeah. I think most people were just like, I'm gonna try this out because it's free to download and try it.
Yep.
So I don't think they're gonna keep anything like the player numbers that they've had the past week long term, but a reasonably large percentage of those people are going to be interested in the game enough to keep playing it. And so odds are pretty good you're going to be able to expect new content to get added pretty regularly and stuff like that. It's not going to end up being like that Elder Scrolls Legends game.
Yeah.
That was like Bethesda's other mobile game that was like,
I remember that. I actually had that downloaded a little while ago. It was different.
Yeah. It did not ever catch on the way, like, it's still supported. You can still download it and play it, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's on the Switch too.
Yeah. So it just never caught on in a huge way, and so there's not like a giant push to release a bunch of new content for it. I suspect that Mighty Doom will probably fare better long term. It remains to be seen. But it's not for me. It might be for you, listener, if it's free to download and try it. And just, I feel like, them giving you that 40 energy up front instead of the standard 20, honestly, that probably gives you enough content right there at the beginning to decide whether or not this is something that you want to be into. So you don't have to pay anything to try it out, and that's nice.
I will say I'm looking at the App Store right now just to see things on it. So on the App Store, it's got almost 14,000 reviews already.
Yep.
And an average of 4.9 stars out of 5.
Yep.
And then on the Play Store, it's got 114,000 reviews on it.
Holy crap.
And an average of 4.7 stars out of 5.
Okay.
And it says 1 million plus downloads on the Play Store, which is
a
lot.
Oh yeah. No, the download numbers were like in the millions, and like the like concurrent players stats that I saw was that this thing maxed out like opening day or the day after or something like that, of like tens of millions of concurrent players. So many people logging in really fast. So the game massively popular, and it presents itself very well. Like I said, the gameplay was decent. Like for a one finger game, pretty darn good. Like, it's hard to make a game that is like engaging to play and interesting to play where you control the thing with just your thumb. That's difficult. They did a pretty good job of that. So it's not my cup of tea, but try it.
Yeah, I'd say if you're into this type of game, you're probably gonna like it.
Yeah. Did you download it, Landon, and try it?
No.
Okay. I was just curious.
Maybe I will.
If you did.
Maybe I will. As of now, I have not.
I would love to get your take on it, honestly, just because you got the two non-mobile guys that did this. So
hey, I played tons of mobile games, and to be absolutely honest with you, I could not get into the Apple Arcade version of Shovel Knight either, which is entirely down to the fact that it's an endless, like, it's a roguelite. I just suck at those, okay?
Yeah.
Like, back when Apple Arcade launched, one of the launch titles on there was Bleak Night or something like that. I can't remember what it was called, but it was an incredibly atmospheric, like, super gorgeous pixel art, like, fantastic sound design, really interesting dark fantasy, like, world and stuff like that. Awesome game, played with one finger, roguelite on Apple Arcade, and I loved the concept of the game. Listener, you can go read my, like, first impressions of it, or go watch my first impressions of it on YouTube. And I think it's a fantastic game, but I played, like, the first world of it and then gave up because freaking I just can't with these roguelites. Man.
Yep. There, I downloaded it. I will play it and get back to you on that.
Yeah, I am curious. I wonder what your thoughts are on it. So. Okay. Was that all your news, or do you want to continue?
That's it for Mighty Doom. I don't have anything else to say on Mighty Doom, so I'll go ahead and move on from them. The other thing was, speaking of trying out games before you pay for them, the open beta of Diablo 4. That was, as of recording, it's happening right now, and I'm recording a podcast instead of playing it. I feel really dumb about that. I don't know why. Anyways. Now, I made it up to, like, level 7 or 8 or something like that, which is where the introduction to the game ends. And at that point, the story also, like, they're not giving you any more story past that. You can level up your character to level 5 and kind of explore the area around the first city, like hub city in the game. But that's sort of it. So in terms of my first impressions of Diablo 4, there are a lot of things I really like about it. It's extremely atmospheric. It does feel a lot like Diablo 2. They were clearly gunning for that. They're going, like, a little bit less, like, grand scale giant thing than Diablo 3. Diablo 3 was just extremely huge in scope in terms of, like, how your actions affect the world around you. Diablo 2, obviously everything you're doing turns out to be massive in scope because you're, like, literally, oh, I'm the one person who's chasing down the primevals.
Yeah.
Turns out. You don't know that when you start, though. And Diablo 4 feels that way. Like, Diablo 4 feels like, oh, you're just a wanderer who got caught in a bad situation out in a storm. And now, it turns out you might actually be getting caught up and embroiled into something way bigger than you thought it was. So it feels a lot more like Diablo 2 or Diablo 1 in that way. It's a Diablo game, right? Like, it's an action RPG that's dark fantasy, heavily atmospheric world, with all the enemy types that there's Fallen. Like, right at the very beginning, you can be walking up and hear a little dude in the background go, Rakanichu. And it's like, it's all there. It's a Diablo game. Like, I don't know what you want. So all that was good. I played as a necromancer, right? Got a couple, like, an hour in on a necromancer and summoned some skeletons running around it. There was lag, right? It's a beta. Servers were pretty crowded. And my skeletons were lagging out and, like, jumping around and stuff like that. But the nice thing about being a necromancer is that you have these summoned creatures and they do the fighting for you. So even when there's giant lag spikes and you can't tell where you are on the map and you can't control your character or anything like that, your skeletons go and kill all the demons anyways. That was really nice. So that felt just like Diablo 2 as well, because lag spikes were real, man. Like,
yes, they
that's
were.
the thing. So, yeah, like, generally speaking, it feels like a Diablo game and looks like a pretty cool Diablo game. I think there was one thing about it that stood out as being really exciting to me, and that's that I was concerned when I found out that there was going to be, like, a battle pass system for Diablo 4, that they were going to lock stuff like cosmetic customization of your gear to be a part of the battle pass stuff. And then you get into that first hub world and you can walk up to a wardrobe, quote unquote, which is very much like the appearance mirror thing in Diablo 3, and change the appearance of your equipped gear to match the appearance of any of the other gear you have equipped. And you can change the colors for it and stuff like that, just like you could in Diablo 3. So just so long as they don't lock that away behind a paywall when the game actually launches, that's that fear assuaged. I was very happy to see that. The one thing that I was not super thrilled to see was a customizable protagonist. And that's going to sound weird coming from somebody who, like, literally, when I boot into, like, Saints Row 4 or something like that, as one of the best character creators that I've ever seen, I spend 30 minutes plus just making my character. Like Divinity Original Sin 2, the first time I booted that up, they're like, hey, we've got these 6 pre-written, pre-cast, pre-canned, fully voiced characters that you can jump into and get these really detailed backstories that we've written for these guys, or you can create your own. And I'm like, oh, okay, here's 40 minutes of being the character creator, you know? Like, that's how I operate with RPGs most of the time. But not action RPGs, right? Like action RPGs, I just want to jump in and start playing. Diablo 4 will let you do that, but it also gives you the option to customize some things about your character's appearance and so on and so forth. Which on the one hand, more choice is good. Like, I'm not upset about that. But on the other hand, that means that cinematics are not pre-rendered. They want you to have your customized character present in the in-game cinematics. And listener, you're probably hearing that and thinking, that's a good thing, right? Like I want to be able to see my customized character in the cinematics. Of course. I would just like to point out, all of the best cinematics in video games come from Blizzard. And they're all pre-rendered, non-in-game, non-game engine cinematics. Every single one of them. Right? Like, there's nothing better than playing StarCraft in, like, the story campaign in StarCraft and just having it cut at the end of a level and be like, all right, here's a small movie that we made just for you, and it's amazing, you know? Like,
yep.
But when you have a customized character, you can't do that and have that character in there. Now, Diablo traditionally has gotten away with that by just not ever having your player character in the cinematics. They would just, you know, you had Marius, right, in Diablo 2, which, like, freaking that dude. Just poor guy. Anyways, you just can't do that with a customized character, right? You've given the characters or the players a customizable character, and they want to put that character into the cinematics, which means in-game rendered cinematics, which means nothing even close to the artistry of typical Blizzard cinematics. Like, the game starts out with, like, the Diablo 4 announcement cinematic that they had where Lilith comes back, right? She's summoned back. And that's an incredible cinematic. Gorgeous rendering, really interesting, like, character performances, and just this tight little story and all that stuff. It's great. And then it goes from that to, like, oh yeah, I'm creating a new character. And then it launches with that character, and it's in the game engine. And it feels really choppy and just doesn't look that good. And it's like, I just wasn't, I was not a fan of that, you know? So I have a sincere hope that, like, any cinematics that don't have my character in them in Diablo 4 will still be dedicated movie cinematics the way that Blizzard has always done them. But there was at least one moment in the introduction where they had the opportunity to cut away from the in-game cinematic thing. It was a vision that your player character has of something that happened in this location previously. Your player character is not there. It's a bunch of characters that, like, it's a pre-canned, pre-done cinematic. They could have easily pulled out to a fully pre-rendered cinematic and done that there. But they didn't. It's still in-engine, in-game, and it's just not very good. So, I have some trepidation. but it wasn't bad. Like it was a Diablo game, and it seemed like a pretty good Diablo game. I'm just a little nervous about that because, like, yeah, I'll fully admit it. I didn't play the first Diablo until after I'd played Diablo 2, and Diablo 2 at the time, you know, it was like 2000 freaking
the year 2000.
Well, that's when it came out. I didn't play it until later, like 6 or something like that, 2006. So even then, the cinematics in Diablo 2 were pretty dang good. And like, you know, that opening cinematic for Diablo 2 hooked me immediately. I was like, okay, I'm on board. Yeah, this is a great game. Love it.
A good one.
And like all of those cinematics in between the worlds, like when you moved from one location to the other in Diablo 2, oh my gosh, they're so good. They're just so good. And I feel a little bit like Diablo 4 is going to be missing that, and that will be extremely sad. So that's my first impressions of Diablo 4. I have not pre-ordered it. I'm on the fence about whether or not I'm going to do that. We'll see.
Yeah.
If they bundle it with Diablo 2 Resurrected, I might.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Interesting. I thought there was a bundle. Nope, I'll have to look. I thought there was a bundle for release Diablo 3, but maybe I'm thinking something else.
Well, I already have Diablo 3. I'm not.
Right, well, I meant maybe they will because they already did it with that one. So.
Oh, right, yeah, they might. And if it's the kind of thing where like if they'll
a battle
bundle,
chest.
yes,
right.
If they're doing a thing where they're like, we'll bundle Diablo 2 Resurrected, Diablo 3, and Diablo 4 into one, but if you already have Diablo 3 or Diablo 2 Resurrected, then we're not going to charge you for that piece of the bundle. Like if they do something like that, then I might look into that too, because that might be some savings. Basically, I'm just not sure I want to pay full price for it. You know, that's where I'm landing. And I'm not sure I'm going to know whether I'm willing to pay full price for it until we actually see what the in-game monetization looks like.
True.
So, because it might be totally innocuous and I'm not going to care. Like it's going to be like all of the seasonal content from Diablo 3. You just have to pay for a battle pass subscription to get that stuff. In which case, I'm fine. I never participated in the seasonal content in Diablo 3 ever. So yeah, like then it won't affect me at all, and I think I would have a blast playing it. But it might be different than that. I don't know. So I just gotta see.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I also got to play it. I got to play it for the early access as well as the early access and open beta.
Yeah.
I did pre-order it. That's just something I don't know. I like to be like, yeah, this is something I will play. And
yeah,
here's this. And so I did pre-order. My impressions of it, I'm very happy. I think it's really cool, and I really enjoy what they're doing and what they're going for. I had to go into this without a Diablo 1, 2, 3 Immortal mindset, and just be like, because you know, when I started with 1, so I've been through all the ups and downs of the franchise, and so, but I knew that new developers, new people have been in and out, and so when I did that, not really like lower the expectations, but just kind of like, let me see what this iteration of Diablo could be. I'm pretty happy with it. I got to level 25. I got to experience quite a bit of the story, quite a bit. I went past the town, got through a lot of the main story, got some side stuff, got to see what the dungeons, quote unquote, are, what the legendary gear got to do, what and things like that. So, I'm really hopeful, and it's really nice because, it felt like it had that atmosphere, like Caleb was saying, the atmosphere of Diablo 1, which was really nice. The music is good, the sounds, the things that it does. I've been really enjoying it. It's got the talent tree and the armor customization, not customizations, armor, the talent tree and the talents for in armor that you can actually equip a piece, and it gives you actually talents that maybe you haven't been able to try out, or boost a talent all the way up. So you can try that out.
Yeah.
So it has that stuff from Diablo 2. And then from Diablo, I feel like from Diablo 3, they did kind of make it not as feeling like so powerful. Because like,
yes,
you're not a literal, let's say this, a god. Like in this one, it's like, hey, you're standing in fire. You should get out or you will die.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
quick.
I think it's really funny because, you know, I've seen the take, or people are all like, well, yeah, they toned back like the power ceiling from Diablo 3 a lot. And I'm like, I don't like, yes, they did, but they did it for everything. Yes. So it's not necessarily that like you're less powerful overall. I think that once you get to late game builds of Diablo 4 characters, they're gonna be, you know, you're gonna be godlike walking through masses of enemies and they'll just die around you without you having to do anything. Like, honestly, if you haven't seen a Thorns sorceress build from Diablo 2, where they get to like level, what was the level cap in Diablo 2? Is it 60 or something like
99.
that? 99? Yeah, they get like level 99 and they literally just walk up to Diablo and he kills himself. Like, that's how that game happens in the late stage of the game. Like, you can do that. You could do those builds there as well. It's just that they just took all the numbers down. So instead of starting with like, oh yeah, like your beginner weapons do like 100 damage or something like that, and then scaling upwards to where every attack you do is doing tens of thousands of points of damage, you start with weapons that do 1 or 2 points of damage, and then it'll scale up to hundreds instead.
Yeah,
which is what Diablo 2 did. So,
but I feel like what's really nice is everything is on screen. So meaning what was really cool to me was it's anything you would know without moving your eyes too far, even to your status bar, like you could tell everything was right in front of you. So like when you were blind, if you got blinded, your entire screen would turn black, but around you. So it's like, hey, you should get out of this or you're just going to stay blind the whole time and not see anything and die.
Yeah.
You know, there's things, what was really cool. But then on my end, I played a rogue. And mine was more of a melee stabby rogue. But what was really cool is as you get the main abilities, but then you can augment abilities to do certain damage. And that's where like all of a sudden, like I'm destroying groups. But if I don't pay attention, like what I mean by everything's on screen. So if in previous games, like if a big guy comes up and starts hitting you, you're like, I'll just take the damage and there you go. Well, on this game, if a big guy comes up and you see he has a big mace, he's going to come up like this, up above his head, and hit you, and then your guy's going to fall over if you let that hit you. And then you're going to take forever to get up, but then everyone else is poking and killing you really fast.
So this is why you need skeletons.
Well, yes, but then like what's really cool is the animation and the time they put into this. Like I actually watched playing with, I didn't play a barbarian, but someone that I was playing with comes over and we're fighting a boss and he comes over and I watch and he does one of his abilities. I think it was bash or like something stomp. I watched the boss fall over and we were able to kill him that way. And like, so it's like there's such a risk reward here that I'm like, oh, this is really fun because I've been caught off guard many times where like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to fight this boss that spawns spiders, whatever. I can take spiders, but it's spiders and they surround you and kill you instant, like dead. So you're like, oh, I can't. Okay. I got to play this better. So there's a lot more. I don't know. It feels good so far, but there's not so much like, I'll just take on everything. And I'm just, you know,
I feel like when was the last time you started a level 1 character in like Diablo 3? Because like what you're describing is 100% accurate. That is how Diablo 4 plays. It's just, that's also been my experience with Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 as well. Like that if you're not paying it, like what Diablo 4 is doing that neither of those games did is a lot more contextual animation. They're actually showing you what is, you know, like if you get stunned, instead of just like a little bit of a sparkly animation around you like Diablo 2 had or something like that, then you actually like, you fall over and you have to get back up and stuff like that. So it's a little bit easier visually to see what the status of everything on screen is, but they're not changing the formula and they didn't need to, you know, I'm not like I didn't want them to change the formula. Diablo 3 experimented with the formula a little bit, and I think they pushed it a little bit too far into being like this grandiose epic fantasy thing instead of just staying very focused on like a dark fantasy thing. And it was fine. Diablo 3 was a good game. I didn't, no major complaints there. But it feels like with Diablo 4, they're trying to go back. They're trying to scale it in a little bit, like you were saying. And I think it's working. Like, I don't...
So far, yep.
I don't have any major complaints other than, the pre-rendered cinematics thing. I really love their pre-rendered cinematics.
Agreed. I agree with you on that.
Almost any other game, I would be like, oh, heck no, give me in-game cinematics with this customized character that I made and stuff like that. But when it comes to Blizzard franchises, no. Pre-rendered cinematics all the time, every time.
I did, so I went through, I did that. I did, got quite a bit of understanding, and even adding to the talent tree, you can specialize. There's all sorts of interesting things, which is so cool.
Yeah,
so
they've
like, done that.
Diablo 2's Diablo 2's skill upgrade trees were pretty narrowly scoped, which makes sense. The game was smaller and older than obviously newer games. That was a really weird statement. Diablo 3 had a lot more meat to the upgrades than Diablo 2 did, which makes sense. I feel like Diablo 4 is organizing that meat better. Like, it's a lot easier to just look at the skill tree and go, yeah, okay, I see how I get to these things better and how they relate to each other better.
Yep.
Whereas, like, with Diablo 3, you had to really read, like, a short novel in order to figure out what skills for your character were going to synergize well with other skills.
Yes, you do.
And
That's
then,
funny. Yep.
That was kind of obnoxious. Whereas Diablo 4 has made it a lot easier to see, like, oh yeah, I want skills that synergize well together. I'm just going to get all the purple ones,
Yep. Yeah, that's literally what it is.
So,
I liked it. I did get to experience the world boss twice that they let release upon the world. And it is quite interesting. Like, so basically, it basically announced, it's like, hey, 20 minutes, this world boss that's marked on your map is going to be there. And so, you go and you travel all the way to the boss, and then it sits there. And once that 20 minutes is up, I mean, he spawns, he comes out and just lays havoc to people.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, what's kind of cool is actually it actually zooms out automatically and lets you see the boss, but then also everyone around you, because this one in particular was just huge, but and he can one-shot anybody if you're not careful. But this really kind of, but it was fun. We actually got pretty close to getting him down the second time. The first time we were just learning and just getting wiped. But then if you don't beat him in a certain amount of time, then he just goes away. He just walks back to his whatever it was and goes away. But we got close, but it was a lot of fun because what we did is we got a bunch of people, so you can only have 4 people to a party. And then we all get to there. So what we did is we had one person leave the party and then invite 4 more of our friends to server hop to us. Yeah. And then we would sit there and just leave party and then get people there as much as we can. And so we were able to get everybody there. But it was, it took a little bit, but it was fun.
The persistent online, like, pseudo MMO aspect of it, like, I didn't really get to mess with that other than, like, I'm running around the hub town and there's other people here. Like, I went to go check out the stash and wardrobe stuff, and there was somebody else in there putting crap in their stash, and I'm like, that's different.
Well, it's funny because I'm used to it. So I played all through Diablo Immortal.
Right. Well,
I saw that.
You've played World of Warcraft. That's like,
well, that too. Okay,
that's the DNA,
you got me there.
Really.
Yeah, let's be real. But I guess in terms of a Diablo game, that I was, so I was used to it. And so, no, I would say overall, as of right now, what they've showed us, it's exciting. I am with you on the pre-renders stuff. I am worried about that monetization. I'm really worried. Like, I'm hoping what they see is they're like, oh, we'll just leave that in Immortal. Let Immortal just make the money to fund Diablo.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna.
It's just, I don't know.
There's gonna be something, right? There's gonna be some kind of some kind of monetization. And like I said, if they're just monetizing the seasonal content from Diablo 3, more power to them. People will pay for that. I don't know why, but I'm not that type of gamer. I don't chase armor sets. I don't chase the big stat upgrades, whatever. I'm here to do two things: slaughter demons, chew bubblegum. No, and experience the story. That's the second one. I'm not chewing bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. No, it's just that like that's my thing. I'm here. I play through the story of Diablo games because I like to, and then I go back to the beginning with a different character class, and I play through again, and then I do that again and again and again. And once I've gone through all of the classes, then I go back and I start doing different builds of the same classes. Except for in Diablo 2, in which case I went back and I'm like, I'm going to do a different build of a druid this time. And it always ended up being exactly the same build of a druid. Yeah. I don't know
that's
why.
What happens. Yeah, that's what happens.
But like that was so much fun in Diablo 3 was to just, oh yeah, okay, now I'm going to run through the entire thing again with a monk instead and see how that's different. And that works really well for me. And so I never cared about the seasonal content, never bothered with that. And if that's all they're monetizing in Diablo 4 is just battle passes instead of seasonal content, you have to pay for those. Okay. Works for me.
Interesting. I always thought it'd just be more cosmetic, but I guess doing the seasons would make sense because that makes sense. So
yeah,
maybe.
I mean, they already had seasonal content built into Diablo 3. Like it would be a huge bummer if they were to start charging for that. I agree.
Yeah, I would agree.
But it would not directly affect me. So
yeah, I think what they'll do. So when Diablo Immortal, when a battle pass comes out, there's just a season of the battle pass. What it is you always get the battle pass, the free one, like the free stuff. You always have that. But if you want they call it the empowered to get the additional whatever each. I mean, every battle pass has this, so.
and it unlocks a whole bunch of new options for the customizations that you're unlocking and the whatnot. But like I said, so long as they're giving me the ability to change the appearance of anything that I'm wearing to match the appearance of other gear I've already found, that is all the customization in terms of like, that I really latched onto that I ever had in Diablo 3. And that's all I need from Diablo 4.
And it was cool the way they did it. All it is you have to, if you have that piece of gear, all you have to do is, I was going to say scrounge. That's not the right word. Destroy it. What is it?
Salvage it?
Salvage.
Yeah.
Scrounge. That's all you got to do. And then you have it forever. And that was the coolest thing because then you go to your wardrobe and say, I like that. But I
don't even think you have to salvage it. I think you just have to pick it up.
Well, when I went, and it'll show when you go to a repair or a salvage guy, it'll actually have a little thing it'll show a little node that says when you salvage this one, you'll get the transmog.
Right, but I never actually salvaged anything.
Oh,
I picked stuff up and I sold it, and it showed up in my wardrobe as an option.
Maybe.
So I may have equipped it first. So maybe you have to equip it or salvage it. Maybe that's salvage, it. But... Anyways, but yeah, like the option was there, and that's all I really need. And also, it gives you the option to have all of your gear on, but then show it as unequipped, so you can run around buck naked if you want to. Like,
oh my gosh,
that's an option.
I didn't see that.
To be fair, Diablo, as always, you are wearing stuff underneath your armor, so you're not actually running around naked. It's but
just funny. Yep.
But yeah. I am more excited now than I was a week and a half ago. I'll put it that way. So I'm interested to see, like, once we actually see what the monetization looks like closer to the game's release, then I'll probably be able to decide whether or not I'm actually going to buy this thing. And yeah, that's what I got. That's all. That's all the gaming news that I have. That's all I've done for gaming this week is basically just play Mighty Doom and Diablo 4.
Nice. Well, I'll go ahead and take over a little bit. I did want to talk. So, speaking of Blizzard and their games, I guess, and all of Activision and Blizzard and Microsoft trying to acquire. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So the UK CMA have actually changed their stance on the Microsoft acquisition. Before they were really worried about console competition. They've announced that they, with all the evidence they have, recent evidence, they don't see any kind of competition with the console market with that. So it looks like both, they haven't come out and said it, but they're like looking towards it. So both the UK or the EU and the CMA are looking to approve the deal to make it go through, which is good. Which is really good. Get it done.
I did think it was interesting. They're all like, yeah, we're still working on our final verdict. We do have some concerns about how this might affect cloud gaming. And I'm like, why? Why is that your concern?
Well,
I guess just, they'd be able to add Blizzard games to their cloud gaming.
Well,
line?
And I mean, we talked about this. Microsoft already knew that was one of the points, and they've already signed deals to most of these cloud gaming. I mean, let's talk about this. They announced, and this actually was back, I think, around March 15th. They actually talked about, they signed it to 2 other cloud gamings, but over in a provider in Japan. I believe it's called, let me look. I don't know if this is the right way to say it, but Ubitus. Ubitus. What they basically, it's a cloud gaming, the provider over there in Japan, which Nintendo Switch makes sense. Yeah. To where they can now provide the Call of Duty games, or Call of Duty, Activision, Blizzard. They even signed all their Xbox stuff over there, their AAA there. So they announced it with that, and there was one more, Boosteroid. There was another similar 10-year deal with Boosteroid that's over in Ukraine. So, I mean, they're literally handing these deals out like they're candy. So
yeah,
they're just pretty much just trying to, I mean, they're dotting their I's, T's, and everything and all that. So I don't know. It's just one step closer to that. So yeah, that's all we kind of want to say about that. Just because along with that, there's all sorts of drama, all sorts of fanboy crap, and we're just not going to talk about it. So. So with that, let's go ahead and get into this. With that, Microsoft has really come out, and Phil Spencer has come out and said that the reasoning that they're wanting to do this with the ABK deal is to also help with their launch, which will be a launch of next year. They said around March, they want to have their mobile game store up and going.
Right.
So
I did see that.
So on iOS and Android. So
I thought it was funny. He was basically like, look, we know that we can't actually launch this on either of the platforms that it should go on right now, but we're just kind of hoping that by next year sometime we'll be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally what it was. Yes. So, I mean, they're just waiting on, what is it, the EU's Digital Markets Act or whatever.
Yeah.
And,
So,
and that will require Apple and Google to open up to the third-party apps. And so, so then they're thinking it'll go through March. So basically, as soon as that goes, which that's why they said March, is because they're thinking that's when that legislation goes. They're like, okay, boom, entered.
Yeah.
So, interesting stuff there. So, I mean, it makes sense. They got all sorts of mobile games. I mean, think about all the Bethesda games. We announced the Mighty Doom that came out, the Elder Scrolls Blades. I mean, they even did a Fallout Shelter. There's, all sorts of Bethesda mobile games and the mobile games that everyone else is doing. And so, I mean, there's, Candy Crush, all that stuff.
yeah.
I mean,
and then there's
so it makes sense. And then obviously they want to put the cloud on there to make it even better to entice people to sign up for Game Pass. Weird. So yeah. With all that, let's go ahead. Let's move on. I've got this as well. Just kind of a side note. Because we do appreciate our indie developers, and it's really cool that Xbox, when they launched their ID at Xbox, they had launched that. Oh, when was that? 2013?
Yeah, it's been a while.
They launched it. Well, they announced coming with this GDC, they said that they have the ID at Xbox Developer Acceleration Program. Basically, it's a new initiative to help the developers bring their games to Xbox, which would basically, they had said, will offset certain costs. So like, they had said, so like, basically Microsoft will just pay for certain costs to get the game up and going. So cool. And we like these independent developers. So I mean,
yeah, good old indie
more to get them out there, more to do that. So if you're looking to put a game out there, here's an option for you. Now, would you rather them put it on Xbox or Epic Store there, Caleb?
Oh, obviously Xbox. Come on.
I just had to bring that up.
Look. I've got nothing against Xbox and Phil Spencer. That's fine.
Yep.
It's
all right.
Tim Sweeney. Don't like him.
Yeah. Okay. And my last, well, not last, more on the side of last for Microsoft side of things for gaming. Minecraft is now launching on Chromebooks in an early access. So before you could actually do just the Minecraft education, but now they're actually going to do the actual Minecraft on Chromebooks full set, and it says it's a Chrome OS via the Google Play Store. So cool.
Wes, did you listen to the episode that you missed that one week?
No.
Landon brought that one up in that episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I apologize then. Well, I just wanted to reissue. Hey, you could get this here.
We had a good discussion about how this was probably going to get a lot of parents to buy Chromebooks for their kids.
Yeah, I apologize then.
In Wes's defense, this is new news. It was a limited beta before.
Then.
Now it's early
That's
access.
True. Yes, they like announced it, and now
I totally knew that.
You can early access it.
Thanks, Caleb. But so sweet, more Minecraft. One of the big things that they put everywhere. So, all right, so we're gonna move from Microsoft gaming and just kind of bring up Netflix. We talked a little bit about this before the show. I know that's weird to say gaming Netflix, but hey, they're really pushing this. So Netflix has announced that they're going to add 40 more games to their catalog, which is cool. So
I don't know, man. Netflix, this is not going to stop you from hemorrhaging users. I'm sorry.
It's true.
It's just different. Like, you just don't think Netflix for games. I know it's. No. I don't know. Like, I'm sure Landon enjoys playing Ninja Turtles. You know, like.
I mean, it is a fun game, but I haven't actually played it a ton.
True.
No, I think when most people think of Netflix, they think of internet flicks. Netflix, movies on the internet, which is literally what it was. You know, I don't know, man. I
don't know.
Do you remember when those came in the mail?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh yeah.
You know, I never subscribed to Netflix because I thought it was so silly. Then I got an Xbox 360, which allowed me to digitally, was the only thing you could, at the time, was the first time you could actually stream to your Xbox 360.
Yep.
And I signed up for it, and I just remember I was just in heaven because I was like, look at all these shows that because at the time they had everything. Like they had, I remember they had. I was binge watching The Office on there. I was binge watching like King of the Hill. I mean,
because there were no competing services.
No, it was everything was on it.
Well, and it
was cool.
My parents signed up for like the actual pants DVD Netflix fairly early on, and we had a rotation. They had the one where you could have 2 discs at a time, in the mail. And we'd get one in the mail, we'd watch through it, and then send it back the next day, and then the day after that you'd get another disc. And so if you kept that rotation going, then you constantly had new movies or TV shows to come in to watch. And I remember when they first announced that, hey, we're going to do internet streaming stuff, the initial catalog for the actual streamed content was very small. They were kind of just trialing it. But they gave it to they gave early access to tons of people that were users, and we had it. And my mom was like, Oh, I mean, you can go on and watch a movie, and I did, and the movie I watched was The Core, which is bad. It's a bad movie. Like, that's my first ever internet streamed movie was The Core, and I will never forget that because it was trash. But yeah, that was like, man, early days, and Netflix could do no wrong, and that is not how things are anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, Netflix, they're going to be adding the games. By the end of the year, they were saying 40 new games. So, if you are a part of that, I'm excited for you. But I don't know. Like, now that you can't password share anymore.
Yeah, it's like, I'm kind of done with Netflix at this point. Yeah. So, peace out. Slice.
I need to resubscribe to it because we didn't finish the Airbender.
Oh,
for a minute, so we got to get back to it. And
you need to finish that.
But I'm trying to finish what's on Paramount. But it's really nice with Paramount Plus because they've got all the old Nickelodeon shows. So we just got through Doug. Now we're trying to watch Ah Real Monsters, and it sounds like all these old shows. And so, yeah, but I just don't want to have. What sucks is like I've seen it to where like you're like, oh, I'll just pay this a month. That's fine, $7 a month. But then you have all the streaming services, and you're paying like a load of money a month.
Yep. No, yeah. If you pay for all of the streaming services every month, it's an awful lot like having a cable subscription.
Weird.
Yeah, cord cutting doesn't seem so. Like, I'm sorry, it's just back to piracy as being the only thing that makes sense again. Like, we had that time where the internet was new, but like internet streaming hadn't really taken off, where like if you wanted to watch all the crap that was on cable TV and whatnot, then you had to pirate it. And then streaming happened, and it became so much easier to just pay, $10 to $15 a month for Netflix and just watch everything on there. And so
I want to say it was $8.99.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like
depending on which one you were paying for. It was more for us because we were still paying for both the DVDs and the streaming.
Oh, that's right. I went strictly streaming once I found that out.
Yeah, and so like it just made more sense to do that. And then more streaming services came, and they pulled their content off of Netflix. And now, in order to watch all of the things, you have to pay for a monthly cable subscription, essentially, in terms of how much money it costs. And I'm sitting over here like, you know what? The only like internet TV streaming subscription that I pay for is freaking PBS. And I pirate everything else. One. The one thing that I could watch everything for free using a wire on my roof is the one thing I pay for.
Oh, that's funny. Yep. I mean, yeah, who knows what'll happen with that whole thing. But
yeah.
Well, that's actually all my gaming news. Sorry to end with Netflix on my gaming. I should have started with that. That was terrible. Anyway, Landon, do you have any gaming news for us today?
No, I don't.
No gaming.
No.
Dang.
Sorry.
That sucks. I'm sorry. I was hoping for one more, maybe gaming or something, Be cool.
Not this time.
Fine. I was hoping you'd be clicking something real fast and be like, just kidding.
No.
All right. Since I think we're pretty much done, unless there's anything else anyone wants to talk about or bring up or forgot.
Nope.
All right. I think that's going to be the end of our episode here. Dear listener, we appreciate you listening all the way through. If you want to get a hold of us, you can through our social media platforms, as well as callingallplatforms.com. You can actually take a look at a brand new video uploaded to our YouTube channel.
Hey,
if you want to see a review of Atomic Heart.
Yeah, review in air quotes. I really only talk about like one particular aspect of the game. It's like, look, I had nothing to say about the combat. I didn't really have much to say about the story. I only had like one thing to say about the characters, and that was just to complain about the main character's dialogue. The setting. I talked about Soviet Russia, basically.
There you go. If you want to check that out, it's on YouTube, Calling All Platforms Games on there. All right, dear listener, have a good week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Calling All Platforms is a production of Supporter Sound Studios. To learn more about how you can support the podcast, go to www.patreon.com/callingallplatforms.